Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today we will do adaptations in plants and animals. We know that the animals who live in the surroundings is called its habitat. So all the animals live in their natural homes is called its habitat. The habitat provides an organism with food, shelter and climatic condition best suited for them to survive, breed and flourish. Okay. Now we will do what is adaptation. The living condition in different habitats are different. Some places are hot while some are extremely cold. Other places could be dry or wet. Habitats have special features and behavior that help the organisms to adapt themselves to those conditions. The ability of an organism to change for better adjustment with the environment is called adaptation. This is the definition of adaptation. Now, how adaptation helps us? Adaptations help an organism to live successfully in its habitat. An organism that fails to adjust itself to its surroundings cannot survive. Thus, adaptation in changes in body structure and behavior which makes an organism better fitted to survive, grow and reproduce successfully in a given habitat. For example, hydrilla and lotus plants, they are adapted to live in water. Fishes are also adapted to live in water and birds are adapted to live in aerial mode of life. Now we are coming to adaptation of plants. There are three types of categories, that is hydrophytes, those who live in water, like hydrilla, water hyacinth. Next is mesophyte, those who live on land, and last is xerophyte, those who live in dry and hot environment, that is a type of deserts. All the examples are given over here. Next is we will do adaptations in hydrophyte, that is aquatic plant. Hydrophytes are mainly of three types, that is free floating rooted, and submerged and floating, and submerged and rooted. Now what is free floating? These plants float freely on the surface of water like water hyacinth or darkweed. Free floating and rooted, the plants, those roots are fixed in the soil and the leaves remain afloat due to long petioles like lotus and water lily. And submerged and floating, these plants are completely submerged in water and are not rooted in the soil. Submerged and rooted, these plants remain submerged in water and are rooted on the soil. Okay. Now next is some adaptation in hydrophytes are as follows. Mainly the features of hydrophytes comes and you have to write all these things. So the question will come that write the features of hydrophytes. Submerged part of the hydrophytes are covered with mucilage which protects the plants from decaying. The stems are spongy and flexible. They have a number of air spaces. The stems of water lily or lotus have large tunnels and holes for air that help the plant to float. Sometimes the stems are inflated and store large quantity of air. The leaves of submerged plants are narrow and ribbon shaped. Such leaves allow water to pass through them easily. Floating leaves are large and flat. They have waxy upper surfaces to make them waterproof. They have stomata on their upper surfaces which exposed to air. For example, water lily and lotus. All hydrophytes have special tissue called parenchyma. It provides buoyancy and flexibility. Mechanical tissues are poorly developed. Roots are either absent or poorly developed. Today up to this much. Next time we will start adaptation in mesophytes. Till then, goodbye.